Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals. I have got my Psalms journaling Bible here and my Intentional Life journal, and I am excited to share that I have discovered my scripture for the year. So it came about when I was doing my daily reading of the Psalms, and I didn't know it at the time. So when we were doing Psalm 16 for the Psalms journal course, I didn't know at the time that this would be my scripture for the year, but then when I was talking to the journalers about Psalm 17 the next day, I was just telling this story, and as I was sharing this story and talking about the Psalms and how they were speaking to me, I realized, oh my goodness, I found my scripture for the year. So I want to share that story and how I discovered it and what it is with you. And I did a page spread in my Intentional Life journal. And I love that my scripture ties in with my quotes for the year and my words for the year, and also my personal principles for the year. So here is my page about scripture for the year, and it is Psalm 16 verse 2. You are my Lord, apart from you I have no good thing. So that's the NIV. In the NLT it says, every good thing I have comes from you. So let me share how I discovered this was my verse. So, first of all, where do I start? My journey has been, I think I might have shared some of my journey with you in past videos, but last year basically I was quite restless and frustrated and just no direction. For a while there, I sort of felt empty, dreamless, lost my dreams, lost myself, that kind of thing. And I was just always like, okay, what's the plan? God, what's the plan? that's my nature. I always want the 10-step plan. What's the direction? Where do you want me to go? Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I would pray that over and over again. I'll be like, just, what do you want me to do? Just say it. And I just wanted direction, and none was coming, and I was getting frustrated and just wanted to know, what the plan is here, what the future is going to look like. Do I need to do something different? Do I need to change something? What do I need to do, God? And then towards the end of last year, he was just giving me contentment. He was just saying, if nothing changes, if nothing ever changed in my life, and it just looked exactly the same for the rest of my life, I've got every good thing. I didn't know it back then. I didn't have it in those words, but it would be okay is essentially what he was telling me. And what I came to realize is like, okay, it's all good. We're all okay. There's no pressure. There's no obligation. There's no expectation to strive or find the 10-step plan or, wrestle things together and all that kind of stuff. And then so my quotes for this year tie into that. It is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life. That might be my main quote for the year. Just to enjoy the everyday little tiny moments, moment by moment, the now. Just be in the now. And my version of this quote that I have kind of come to is, it is no shame to live a small life. It is no small thing to live a simple life. And then I tie that into these other quotes that are really speaking to me at the moment about this very moment is the perfect teacher, and it's always with us. Just seeing what's going on, that's a teaching right there. And so the beauty of the moment, I'm always about everything. We can find beauty everywhere. There's good in everyone, and everything can be learned from. So don't worry about the future. Just right here, just this moment right here, just to see where you are and to speak that out and to name it and claim it and live it and be in it. That's all you need. That's all you need. And this idea, may you be present in what you do and just enjoying that present moment. So my sort of life quote that I've put into my own words is, I want to live a simple, small life, embracing or being in the everyday moment. And the reason I can do that is because of that scripture. So it all came together, because every good thing I have comes from God. And so how I realized that was, so that's my journey to get to here. I was at a worship night at my local church this week, and usually when I go to these nights, I'm always, wanting to get something from God. I want a word, I want a vision, I want a picture, I want a promise, I want some sort of direction, some sort of step, or some sort of reassurance. And usually, when you seek, you will find. So if I press in enough and I seek and I pray and I just ask and knock and seek, he usually, gives me a word, and he usually gives me a promise. And then, one word from God, it can change everything, and it can just give you that inspiration or encouragement or whatever. But this night, I was just content, I was just like, it's just nice being here in your presence, God. I just want to sing to you and enjoy singing to you and enjoy being with you. And I was questioning, I was kind of having this conversation in my head, like, do I ask for something? Do you want me to ask for a word, God? Or do you want to talk to me about something? Like, is there something you want to reveal to me? And then, I just didn't feel the need. It was like, no, this is just okay. And I think it was partly because of the Psalms Journal course, where I'm reading a Psalm daily and journaling about how it's speaking to me. Like, I'm already getting his words daily, and while it might not be life-changing big revelations, it's everyday little pieces of encouragement, and that is worth something too. Like, often we can seek the grand big moment where God reveals something to us, but there is such value in just the daily hearing of his words, the daily hearing of his truth, and just letting that slowly, calmly sink in a very mundane but still wonderful way, just in a very gentle way. And so he's been, speaking to me daily through these in just small, quiet little ways, and I'm content with that. I don't need this grand big word or big picture that he's going to give me. And I likened it to, when you're in a car with someone and you go on a road trip or whatever, and yes, the great moments where you're laughing together and you're talking and you're crying together and going deep with each other. And then there's those moments where it's silent, and, a lot of us can feel like, oh my gosh, do I need to fill the space? This is awkward. What do I say? What do I say? But when you know someone well enough, and the relationship at a certain point in the relationship, there's a certain depth to it and a certain trust, you are happy with the silence, and you're just happy being with that person, just spending that time together without needing to fill the space, or without needing them to tell you something, without you needing to tell them something. It's just you're sitting together, enjoying each other's company in silence. And I felt like, that's kind of like a step you can go to, a deeper step you can go with God in our relationship with him. We don't always have to be relying on God, give me this word, God always speak to me in this big amazing way. It's just enough to be with him and just have him and not go to him for what he can give you, but go to him for who he is. And I love that. And how I can do that again is because I already know I've got every good thing. There's nothing else I need. So God, I don't need a word from you. I don't need a promise from you, because you've already given me every good thing in my life. And again, if nothing ever changes, if you give me nothing more in my life, I'm still content, because you've given me every good thing that I do have right now. And so when I read this again, I realized, oh yeah, you are my Lord. Apart from you, I have no good thing. And when I just sink that in, when I actually feel that, and not just know it with my head, but live that and breathe that and feel that, I know that I really do, not just head knowledge, I really do know in my soul I have every good thing. And that's where my contentment comes from, and that's where my enjoyment comes from, just being with God. And it's beautiful and wonderful, and it does take perspective. It's not like I force yourself to see that every good thing you have comes from God, and then force yourself to be content. Like, it comes from life experience. It comes from, like, I didn't get this revelation until after 17 days of daily Bible reading and 2 years of frustration and walking on this whole life journey with God and going through really hard times of emptiness and loss and all of that stuff, to understand, wait, I really do have every good thing. Like, I knew this my whole life. I've known this, but it's only now, after all these life experiences and spending time here and all different things coming together. And that's what I mean. You can't force it. You can't just be like, be content. and magically you are content. No, it's a journey. It's a relationship. It's a life spent day by day, year by year, walking with someone and getting to know them. And yeah, so I'll just say, like, don't be harsh on yourself. Don't judge yourself for wherever you are in your journey. I've still got a long way to go. I still have my restless times and still finding things out, figuring things out, and learning to just be okay and learning to just accept things as they are. But I am at peace with that journey. I'm at peace with the wrestle. I am at peace with the frustration. I am at peace with the whole thing that the journey is, because that's just what it is. You have to go through those times to get to the gold, the refining. I'm at peace with the refining, even though it's hard, even though there's suffering, even though there's depression and anxiety along the way. I'm at peace with all of that because I know it's all just part of life and growing, maturing, getting to know God, going deeper, and it's a beautiful, genius journey, and it's just wonderful. So yes, I hope that was encouraging. I hope that you might want to dig into the Psalms as well, or just get into his word, God's word, and let him encourage you in his word. Again, it might not be this big, flashy word from God, but just little truths day by day that feed your soul. And maybe it's only when you look back that you realize, oh, now I understand that, or now I get what that is, and now that feels real in my life in a more tangible way. So yeah, hope that was encouraging. If you would like to be part of the Psalms journal course, you are most welcome to join anytime. I'll have it up running the entire year, and just every day there is a video where I read out the psalm and share how it's speaking to me. There might be a story that I share, or I might have a process video of how I journal in here, and just my tips and tricks of how I do this. But yeah, otherwise just do it on your own. If you don't want to start in the Psalms, go where you are led. For me, the Psalms is just, when you're going through emotional times, I think the Psalms, I'm just drawn to the Psalms because they speak to the emotions. And yeah, I find a lot of encouragement in the Psalms in particular. But later on, I am hoping to do more of, the rest of the Bible. And what I would like to do is go from the shortest books of the Bible to the longest, because that way I can read out an entire book and talk about, how it's speaking to me and show the value. Because I did this last year. I went from the shortest to the longest, and it was so valuable. Now I'm rambling, but we're going down a different tangent. It was just so valuable having the whole book before you and reading it in one go and seeing it as a whole. And yeah, I don't know, I got a lot out of it. So I want to do that again and bring you along for the journey. So I don't know if I'll start that even like in a week or so, because yeah, like I said, this course will just be open for the whole year, maybe, many years. And you can just jump in whenever you want and dive in whenever you're ready. You can watch 10 videos in one day if you want, or just go one video per day, or 3 videos every 4 days or something, or once a week, just whatever you want to do. It's self-paced, and it's just to keep us accountable. So if I did not have this course, I very easily would just be like, oh, I don't feel like reading that today. And then one day turns into 10 days, and then a whole month has gone by. So I have to admit, there are some days where I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like filming this video and reading out the psalm today. I'd rather just get straight into making my book or making journals or whatever. But I do it because I'm accountable for this course, and I set that up specifically because I know it works for me. I need that structure. I need paid courses. I need set routine for me to be accountable, and that's just me. I know how I work, and so since I know how I work, I set things up to work for me. And if that's going to work for you, I've created that to work for you as well. But anyway, let me know if you have a scripture for the year, and I'll leave the link below to the course in the description box if you'd like to join it in. You can also join in with the Intentional Life course that is ongoing throughout the year as well. Any other information I need to share? I don't know. But may you see the goodness of God where you are daily in small and big ways, right where you are. Bye, guys. Special thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in January. If you would like to become a patron in February, and the link is down below, and that is where you get access to extra videos, all my printables, all my digital kits in my Etsy. There are post tiers, mail tiers, and journal tiers as well. There is a Marco Polo tier and just lots of fun stuff over there. There is also a link to all of my available courses down below in the description box. You can join those anytime for all of my Patreon and courses. They're monthly subscriptions that work just like Netflix or Spotify, and you're charged on the date that you sign up, and you can cancel anytime.